injured that she can't marry Larry. Duh. If she's dead, I can't marry her. But if she's disfigured and injured, what kind of man would marry her? Larry wouldn't marry her, but I would marry her.
Marry her?
Yeah. That's good. And so he says, okay, this is what I'm going to do. So he calls up some dudes, okay? And he says, listen, I'm going to pay you guys $2,000, including inflation. That'd be somewhere near like $20,000 right now. Right? He says, something of that sort. I'm a big shot attorney. You don't need to worry about it. And you're going to go to her house and you're going to throw acid all over her face. I want her face to be so ugly that no other man would ever marry her. He had no intention to blind her, maybe, but just so disfigured because acid like melts your face. And so he was like,
what is going on at that point? Is that hatred? Like, what is going on?
No. It's like the stalker thing. It's like, I don't even know if to call it love or hatred. It's just this crazy sick obsession. And I feel like it has less to do with that type of emotion.
It's just about like owning this person.
Yeah. Yeah, which is really interesting because my mom said that my grandma on my mom's side was actually threatened by my grandpa on my mom's side. And he said that if you don't marry me, I'll literally have you killed. And then they got married.
So,
yeah, and like at first I thought it was like so cute. I was like, oh, like he's just saying that. And then I actually found out that he had some dark ass ties in Korea. And I was like, he's not just saying that, huh? And then I like told my mom, and she's like, no, he didn't say it. Like he was just saying that. Like that'd be cute, but no, he was like serious.
was he scared? To you?
I didn't know him for a majority of my life.
Oh.
Which is scary. But then when I did know him, he was very, very strict. But not in like a loving grandpa way. Which is like kind of a weird dude. And then like right up until when he was about to pass away is when he started glad mouthing all these stuff. He took me and my sister to dinner, just us two. I was a young teenager, and he told me about how he had ties to the Korean mafia and the government tried to torture him. And I was like, what? And then I was like, okay, obviously he must have Alzheimer's, like something weird's going on in his brain. And then I told my mom, and she's like, I can't believe he told you that. And I was like, what? What is happening right now?
This is why you should always talk to your grandparents.
You're the
I'm listening to Stephanie Sue.
I don't think so. I mean, I cry. I get like lightheaded with like a paper cut, so I don't really know. I don't think it's in my blood, literally. He says, I want you to go and disfigure her. They said, okay, that's a lot of money. And so one day she gets a call from her apartment office and they say, hey, someone's delivering a package. It thinks it's about your engagement. And she truly thought it was from Larry. She gets so excited. She rushes downstairs and she opens the door, and immediately she gets the acid thrown directly at her face. And this became New York City's #1 news story because you're talking about bride-to-be had acid thrown in her face. I mean, anytime you throw acid in someone's face, that is like just such a hateful crime. And it's such a strange crime. You don't hear about it too much, and when you do, it's always such a complex, hateful story, you know?
Yeah.
No one is just like, I don't like you, and then like goes and procures acid. And like acid is one of those things where you probably will get caught for it because of how little this happens. Like it's, yeah. And so everyone's like, bride-to-be, beautiful bride-to-be, disfigured now because everybody loves to fall from the top. And she was absolutely beautiful. And after this, she was disfigured in her eyes, and she was almost completely blind at the time that this happened afterwards, right? And so she's rushed to the hospital. She had 24-hour police guards at the hospital because she knew immediately that it had something to do with Bert, but nobody really knew. They couldn't put the evidence together. They couldn't piece it together. So he was walking free in New York. And, you know, she was nervous. She was in the hospital trying to recover. And during all of this, Bert was still sending her flowers every day. Just sending her flowers. And he wasn't denying it. He wasn't even being like, I can't believe this random crime happened to you. Whoa. He was just like, hope you feel better, love. And like, send flowers. And she was like, what the fork is going on? And everyone was very concerned. You know, Larry was with her the entire time at the hospital.
That was so weird.
So he did it so that the press wouldn't rip him apart for leaving Linda.
What?
And then the minute that they were out of the news, he was like, I can't do it, bye.
Well, Larry.
But Linda doesn't blame him because, I mean, you gotta run when you can, she said. And this is where it gets crazy. She bought the biggest, most expensive pair of just thick black shades, sunglasses. She would wear them every day, never take them off. She still had some vision. It was really, really bad. But she was, she would still bump into things. That's how bad her vision was. But she wasn't completely blind at that time. And so she decided to get an apartment by herself. And she would go to work by herself. They said, hey, listen, you need to get a seeing eye dog, like what do you call it? A service dog. She's like, I don't want a big dog with me. Like, everyone's going to know I'm blind. And so she would literally walk to work every day. She would go to work every single day. She would do the same things. And at one point, she even went to Europe. And she met a lot of people in Europe. Nobody knew she was blind. She was that good at hiding it. And she would just always wear these same pair of, like, bedazzled designer eyeglasses, sunglasses. Yeah, and at that point, news cycles started picking it up again because Bert was arrested. The three guys ran him out. Yeah, because once they were caught, they were like, listen, they said if I give you up, I get this time, so I'm giving you up. And so they ratted Bert out. He was arrested. And he did a lot. Again, he stayed in the news cycle for a solid time after getting arrested because he didn't want to go down without a fight. And being the annoying-ass negligence attorney that he is, he said, I'm going to sue this police department. So he sues the police department. And then he says, I'm going to take it a step further. I'm going to sue New York City. Takes it a step further. I'm going to sue New York State. I'm going to sue the United States justice system. He even went on to sue that particular judge that was going to be overseeing the trial. Like, he's suing everyone, okay? He just said lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit. I ain't coming out of jail. Like, fucking, I'm not staying in jail, bitch. And lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit. And everyone's like, oh my god, can we let him go already? Like, he's so freaking annoying. And so they were like, okay, like, you can't keep doing this. None of these lawsuits hold water. You're just pushing time, right? And at one point, they were like, finally, no more. Your trial is set. The date is set. And he says, okay. So he goes into his cell, and he was interviewed, and he said it like this. So this is not me saying that he was not suicidal or depressed, but he said he was desperate, and he didn't want to die, but he wanted to be criminally insane as a defense. And so he went into his cell, he cut his wrists, and then he smeared the blood everywhere, and he started screaming like a maniac so that he could use the defense that he's literally insane. And they took him to the hospital, and the psychiatrists were like, you are obviously not insane. I mean, something's wrong with you, but I don't think you're insane. And so they took work. And so the trial happens, and this is even crazier. He was interviewed, and he said, the trial was the best thing ever. Because he could finally see Linda.
What? You're still obsessed with Linda?
And so Linda comes into the courtroom, she's crying, and she's wearing her sunglasses. It's a very emotional experience, but he was so happy to see Linda. And Linda is literally testifying against him. But he's like, I'm so happy to see Linda. And so he was sentenced to 30 years in prison. Okay? And Linda thought, hey, maybe I can move on with my life. It sucks, but maybe I can. And she started dating some dudes, and one of them, she never told him that she was blind or like had disfigurement in her eyes, and so she started really getting serious with him, and she said, okay, I'm gonna show him, I'm gonna show him. And so she has two pairs of glasses. She has her clear glasses, which you can see the disfigurement, and they said it's really intense because it's acid. It's not like she just went blind or she was born blind. I mean, there was acid thrown at her, so even the color of her eye when she opened it was almost like a weird bluish color. Like it didn't just look like eye that had the vision, right? And there was lots of scarring around both of her eyes. And so she said, okay, I'm going to ask you to pick me up from work, and I'm going to wear my clear glasses. And she said hi to him, and he was floored, and he left immediately. And she started getting really, really depressed because she was like, I'm like getting in my 30s, and I'm never gonna find someone. Like, I was this beautiful 20-year-old girl with so many suitors. Like, literally everyone wanted to put a ring on it, and I broke up with Bert. It's not even like I was asking for more. It's not like I was trying to do something bad to Bert. Like, all I did was break up with Bert and get engaged to someone else, and now this is my life. Like, and it's so hard to make money because she was completely losing her vision at this point, that her workplace was like, listen, you can't do the work that we're paying you for. Like, we're gonna have to let you go. And so she's starting to get really just like depressed, and she gets a letter in the mail from Bert from prison, and she's like, this is not her. She opens it, Listen, Linda, I freaking love you. And she
Ah,
said,
Mary,
and in her anger, she wrote the letter back. And